everyone. In this lesson we are going to be looking at modernism. Now, modernism was a movement from the beginning of the 20th century to post-World War II. Modernism was not just literature, like it says here, it was also art and other ideas in life. Now, to look at modernism, you can just think of how modernism was completely different than what came before it with Victorian era literature. It literally was just a rejection of everything that literature had believed before. This came out of the cultural aspects of evolution, how people had just begun to understand evolution, psychology, here we have Freud, and socialism and Marxism. It completely changed the way people looked at the world. And if you understand that what we write in literature is a reflection of how we understand the world and we as human beings trying to understand the world, if you have a completely different view of the world than before, your literature is going to be different than before. Some of the prevailing ideas, God was dead, everyone was driven by their subconscious, and people were equal. So if you think today, if I say modern, you think new. Modernism was really just about the new ideas of the time. So here are just three basic modernist ideas that you need to be thinking about when you are reading in this lesson. First, humans aren't rational. What I mean by that is that people believed that humans were driven by subconscious things in our heads. So, for example, we were so difficult to understand here, number two, that we had to look to psychology to help us understand ourselves. Also, people in modernism were a little snobby. They thought there was such a thing as true high literature and that low everyday literature really isn't literature at all. So, what your job is while you're in this lesson and you're reading is to ask yourself, what of those ideas of modernism does the literature that I'm reading currently represent?